And Jesse's kids, are they adorable?
Yeah, they're pretty cute.
They're very cute. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What's fun is she also got to see Finn and Maisie were like two little cute little peas in a pod.
Oh.
And then, it's
I want to
fun,
meet your
'cause we
kids.
literally just, yeah, you will. We just dropped them off. It was great. We just dropped them off. The kids all play, and we got to all hang out and reminisce. And
yeah, that's really
catch
beautiful.
up
Beautiful. It's so wonderful because, you know, it's a big part of everyone's life, years-wise.
Yeah.
So there's like closure or openness or not healing, but enjoyment, I guess.
I can wait.
And how's Lily?
Lily's doing great. She's we went for pizza yesterday when I got home.
Really
she
hydrated,
wanted
so
pizza, so we went with her cousin, which was Shauna's sister, has a little girl who's almost a year younger.
Yeah.
So they had pizza, and then we went home, went to bed. It's like Shauna's beat right now because of her week with her boss being gone, and I'm pretty beat because I'm like driving all the way to LA again. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm used to not going
anywhere.
I can't wait to meet.
But at least you're a little closer in the new house, right?
Oh, just ever so slightly, yeah.
Let's do intros.
Ha 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 ha.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Camdens. I'm Beverly Mitchell.
I'm David Gallagher.
I'm Mackenzie Rosman.
And we've got a special guest.
Catherine Hicks.
Woohoo! Yay, Mom! Mom, you're here!
Yes. I flew in from Rio.
Oh, lovely.
Mom's got a lover, and I'll fill you in later.
It's just a mere plaything, yes.
We are so excited that you're here.
Thanks. I'm so proud of you guys doing this, and I'm
will-
sure the audience is going really wonderfully wild.
Well, you know what? Everybody was very excited. I mean, I think after 90s Con and they saw us all together, everyone, it was kind of one of those
Feeling
where,
was
like,
mutual.
We couldn't,
it was mutual.
We couldn't not give the fans what they wanted.
Yeah.
Which is, we couldn't not do
Well,
it.
we always have known
Sure.
these last years since we wrapped, because when people come up, they burst into tears and love you.
Yeah.
So you know, across the country, they
Across
grew
the
up
world.
with us. We've saved marriages. We've helped teenagers and little lonely children. So yeah, it makes sense that there's an audience.
We have a show to really be proud of, I think, is kind of the lesson there. I mean, there are plenty of shows you could have been on that have kind of gone the wayside and are remembered not so fondly. But for us being the kind of little engine that could when we were on TV and everyone kind of not believing in us, and being that family show on a network that wanted to be cool and sexy, you know, I think now coming full circle, it's nice to look back on it and feel like we did something positive on TV, or we tried to do something positive on TV. I think the success rate varied from episode to episode, but we tried to to have a positive impact on the idea of the nuclear American family.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And I think the experience too, what we've realized too, is how amazing our set was. That we all got along.
Yeah,
that we
did.
truly
Good
loved
people.
each other.
You know, oftentimes there's actors who are shy or insecure or arrogant. We were just nice people. That was the luck, that everyone was nice and humble and, you know, good sports. And Brenda's writing was uniquely good.
Yes.
We had drama and comedy.
Yeah.
Really good heavy stuff and really good light stuff. And I think that's what made us unique. Unfortunately, the industry never really saw, because, you know, it was a smaller network, so we didn't get Emmy action.
Right.
But in terms of our audience, you know, we know that the show really made a difference.
Well, and I think Brenda being a part of it throughout, stayed with us, because most showrunners don't.
In television, the showrunner is the creator.
Yeah.
And case in point, The OC, a fabulous show, and Josh Schwartz left to do movies. It died.
Yeah.
You know, and Brenda didn't leave, so thus our longevity.
Yeah, except for we've laughed about how every year we were like, when we got that phone call, like, you've been picked up. We're like,
Yeah.
no way. Like, it was like, you never knew what.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
every year was like, are we saying goodbye?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, I remember us saying goodbye every year, being like, well, it's been great. I'm glad we made it this far, you guys. It's been real. Catch you later. And then
How you doing?
later and be like, wow, hey,
Yeah.
here we are.
11 years of
A
that.
full season. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been,
Oh, there's no one here to ask questions. I'm waiting for the next question.
We
well,
do
yes,
we do have actually questions,
Oh,
because
okay.
we did ask our fans what they wanted to know from us. And
Okay.
so actually, I think there is a question.
Yay. Oh,
What did you think of all of us when you first met us and worked with us?
well, as I think these young people will verify, I was a guilty real mom, and I had a 4-year-old at home, and I was never a great mom. I didn't like kids, but I could act, and I was always feeling guilty. I left this child crying to come to set with these fabulous people, and I was reminded of it last month at the reunion convention. I love these people. And, anyway, so it was always tinged with, and I somehow thought, don't get too friendly with them because Katie wouldn't like it. So these poor people are like trying to bond with me on set. And I'm like, bye. And I know they just, it was like, wow, you are not a mom.
That is so not true.
Well,
I don't think that wasn't our maybe you thought you were giving off
did.
that vibe, but I never felt
I think
that way
I
at
got
all.
a note, be nicer to the kids.
I wouldn't
remember it.
characterize
That Mack
it.
does.
I wouldn't have even imagined characterizing you like that at all. I think you maybe
Mack
tried, but
Mack
were
has something to say.
unsuccessful.
No, I'm
being
just trying
rude
to think
us.
about you. I mean, I could, you came and did your job, and then you went home quickly, and
Was I
you
nice
weren't-
to you?
You were nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all did that though when it was time to go home.
more of like, I guess the word I'm looking for, I can't find.
I think
A race
is-
to leave.
Yeah,
would say-
it was just compartmentalized.
Okay.
But I would
Okay.
also
think.
say
Wow.
that as parents, I think we all
But you-
can completely
you warmed up.
appreciate that when you go
Yeah,
to work,
yeah.
you do your job, and you go home because
But-
you have something.
But you're
to come
not there
home
for
to.
social time.
Exactly.
The
blah,
thing
blah,
is,
blah.
in real life, in reality, if I just got this job before becoming a mother, I'm an only child, lonely Arizona upbringing. I just love. I would have stayed. I would have had dinner with you every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that community is
your
the
kid
child
was
in me
pulling
so
you,
needed.
and-
And so
Your
I
heart-
went against my nature because I had to get home.
But it's your 4-year-old, and
Yeah.
that is your
Yeah.
heart being in the
Yeah.
right place.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't prioritize my co-stars over my own child who
Yeah.
was waiting to see me at the end of the day,
Yeah.
ever.
And
Yeah.
I think,
Sorry, guys,
and I
but
think also we can all absolutely understand that.
Well, now you're
especially now that we're
parents.
Yeah.
But
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I will tell you this. My thoughts of you have always been warm and lovely, and I think we've always
Yeah.
loved and appreciated everyone exactly who they were,
Yeah.
exactly how they showed up.
Yeah,
and
that's
there
nice.
was never
There was
this
any or
there was
hurt
never-
feelings.
No,
Yeah, good.
No, no,
not
no.
at all.
Good.
Like, I mean, I'm so grateful for your existence in my life.
Yeah, oh, thanks, Bev.
And I think of you so highly, and you are one of the smartest, funniest, and most magical people.
Well, thanks.
You're
And I think-
hilarious. And
But
brilliant.
yeah, well, thanks.
And you don't
but
even realize it
I
half
just,
the
I
time.
think what I loved about the convention,
Yeah.
we rocked it. I mean,
No one rocked it
poor
like you
Susan Sarandon. No, I'm sorry. Is that I was free to love you.
Yeah.
And see you and just absorb the great, whatever. I don't want to use cliches, but I guess love is the word. And humor. So funny, each and every one of you.
Yeah.
So it's just a gift. It was such joy. I felt such joy.
So did I.
Yeah. I'm not telling Katie I'm here today.
But do you have to go pick her up after?
Yeah. She was a mess. She never learned to drive because of Seventh Heaven. Another question.
What was it like to watch us grow up?
You know, well, you were always so little bubble puss. You were so adorable. You were so happy and like, oh my gosh, isn't this neat? You know, and so positive. And he was like 10. You were so cute. And Mack was 6, like little Shirley Temple. But what was it like to watch them grow up? Oh yeah, I mean, I don't remember. It's just the scenes got different, and you grew breasts.
Wait,
some of us
I
did.
remember that.
Yeah, David did not.
I avoided that one.
Remember when you had to take your shirt off? You were shy.
Yes, of course. Barry and I together for some reason, and the only reason I remember that is because a picture came up at the con of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, strangely
Did somebody
enough.
make you sign it?
It was in the pile. Yeah.
It was in the pile.
Was it the pile that they had for the con, or did somebody bring it to you?
I didn't bring it. Wasn't part of my booth. It wasn't a picture I was offering to people.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's some
so little.
there's some pictures that came up that I was like, oh, I forgot that we did that. That was like apparently when the show was trying to be sexy for a minute.
Oh.
Remember, I had to like dress like I basically was in my bra and underwear in front of Adam Lavorgna, and it was Jesse's boyfriend at the time, and I was like,
What?
this is
That was
weird.
a Seventh Heaven photo?
There was it was basically because Robbie, or wait, I think that was his name.
Or was
I
that
forgot
like a
his name.
Teen Beat photo?
No, it was on the show. I remember, because I remember being so embarrassed because it was all the crew, and I'm sitting here being like, this is really
Didn't you
awkward.
have to do like a sort of sex scene kind of deal?
Okay, if I did, I don't remember.
We never did a sex scene. Well,
We did.
Stephen and I were always in bed.
But there was one day.
There was one
conceiving
with
new children.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome for bringing that up.
There's some things that I've blocked out, Mac.
Well, I
It was
remember
always
that.
just
put in the-
before
they're put
or
in the-
just after, but never
But
did.
it was like a Seventh Heaven version of a sex scene, right?
Which is
Like,
basically nothing happened.
Kind of like the cigarette scene, right?
Which one was the cigarette? Who told
No,
me?
I mean like
after
the
doing
post.
That was you and me, the cigarettes.
It's a thing, Bev. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
yeah, see, I wouldn't know about
It was
these
a
things.
thing
Yeah,
back
okay.
in back in the day.
In film history. Can I
got
brag about this young man?
Yes, you
He
may.
graduated USC Film School. Very few actors in Hollywood,
Oh, boy.
child actors. Very few choose higher education, and it's USC is impossible to get into. And I'm so proud of you. And he showed up at my daughter's birthday party, you know, when they're like 14, and he came. And it was so, you are the night, you're just a great human, David.
I feel like it's such a low bar to praise me for. Like, of course I came to
nobody-
hang out with you on your daughter's
people today,
birthday.
they're not raised to be other-oriented. It's sort of Mimi, and you're just great. Plus, I think you, no offense to anyone, have the finest acting instrument of anyone in the show.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Catherine. That's very sweet.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
finest
I
actor.
think that was always like it was always so fun to work with you because like
Yeah,
you
he's a
just
pro.
you could always see
Something
like
going
the
on.
wheels turning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a
You weren't
really
very
good actor.
predictable. That's what was great. Is
Oh.
You didn't know what was going to
I
come.
like that a lot. Thank you. That's
No,
cool.
and I think that's actually the biggest gift as an actor is when you get to work with someone who you have no idea what they're going to deliver to you. Because you may, in your mind, may see the line going one way. And then when somebody brilliant
Yeah.
comes along and they do it and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's so much fun to react to because that's acting is the gift of reaction.
Yeah.
We were on the show for so long, and I don't know if you guys kind of relate to this. I'll try to figure out how to say it. But like in the beginning, it was super exciting. We're on this new show. We
Right.
got picked up.
Yeah.
We were kind of like figuring out our characters and like and thinking about how the show was themed and who the audience was and how to kind of to embody the family and stuff. And then we kept getting picked up. We were on TV for a while, and there was definitely a point where it felt like it was like kind of predictable or easy,
Yes.
or you did
Yeah.
it. I got to turn off my brain and just go to set
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
and do Simon's thing. And then at some point when I was a teenager, I found myself like getting angry at myself about that.
Yes.
Wow.
About not working hard enough.
Wow.
Even though like I knew Simon like the back of my hand and I could just go in and do any given scene with my eyes closed. And I was like, that's not good enough. And it shouldn't be good enough for me. Like I shouldn't be satisfied with that.
Agreed.
And then I started trying again to like to find things in a scene that like would be interesting or to do. And I remember in particular, and I think it was a scene with you, but there was a scene where I had to argue with them to let me have a toothbrush. And I was like, no. They were like, you're coming out of the bathroom and you're gonna run into Lucy and you're gonna have this little talky heads thing and then go down the thing. And I was like, great, I'm coming out of the bathroom. Was I just going to the bathroom? Is that what we're suggesting here? Or could I come out with the toothbrush? Like I was brushing my teeth. And they were like, I don't know, we gotta call. You know, we gotta call about that.
Yeah.
Really?
We gotta figure it out. And I was like, just let me have a toothbrush, man. Just let me hold something. Just let me pretend I was doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then in that scene, I won the toothbrush. They let me have it. And then I had it in my mouth. And they were like, don't hold it in your mouth. And I'm like, no,
God.
this is what I'm doing.
This is what people do.
Yeah. So then, and I just remember like, that was around the time, and I don't remember when that was in the show, where I was like, no, I want to like make weird choices and do things with my character that feel organic and strange and kind of not just the talking head thing that we're used to.
It's kind of reminding me of the part, you ever saw Meet Joe Black? Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
You know Brad Pitt with the peanut butter spoon? That was one of my favorite little like nuances similar to that about it.
Well, it's
I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but it reminds me of
it's interesting.
It's important of like finding purpose of like, I mean, I think that's one of the things that is always so frustrating with scripts sometimes is you're like, well, why are they doing that? Or like, why would they say that? And they're like, well, because we need to get to this part. And it's like, no. This is not how life works.
Yeah, that's
you
not
do not go into a room to get into
a conversation.
You go
and then
in
walk out without doing
Exactly.
anything
So-
in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So being like, I think the part of being actors is being able to like really have everything make sense and work.
And also come up with stuff.
Yeah.
Because
but ordinary stuff though. That was the challenge that I had set out for myself was to find weird ordinary things to do.
That's great, David.
To give it some kind of complexity or depth or the illusion of that in some way. You know what I mean? Where it felt like we were living together in this house.
It makes it feel more organic.
The reason that actors, doing a series as opposed to projects, I personally preferred feature films because they had and I turned down tons of money in TV to hold out for movies when I was a young actress.
I mean, almost this one, almost Seventh Heaven, right?
Well, yeah, but it was more before that. As I was creating my career, I wanted to be in film, and I got there. But the thing about a series that I didn't like is that you don't know the beginning, the middle, and end. You can't shape your performance. You create a beginning for the character, a middle, and the resolution.
The change,
So it's challenging to an actor to do a series that just goes on and on and on. And when it's a long one, lethargy, fatigue, boredom sets in. So for you, I never did that. For you to do that is, an example of, your desperate attempt to be creative in this becoming mundane
when it was
reality.
Stretching out, when we were going for a really long time, I wanted to find something to kind of latch onto creatively. Yeah.
So that's great. That means you're an artist. I just got tired. Oh dear, I feel badly because I think back. I do remember on the last day, looking at the cameras, they're setting up for a close-up and going, do you realize that for 11 years you have just sauntered in and been lit and photographed by a motion picture camera, a camera? Mm-hmm. People spend their whole lives never doing that, and you've had it. So this is your last one. Be grateful for all the times, you got to be on film. And, remember just be grateful, because I often slid into resentment, fatigue. I was bad. I confess. Just like, ugh. And, that was wrong.
No, but I relate to that big time. And that was what I was trying to fight against, was that the urge to just kind of be like, oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Complacency.
And just in trying to force some kind of,
It's really hard, I think, when you're a restless soul. It's hard to keep that exciting.
Yeah, the spirit of that.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, I'm happy that because I also look back on it really grateful, for all the time that we got to spend together, but then all of the opportunity we had to do what we love to do,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a gift. Like, we were all getting to do the things that dreams are made of.
Yeah.
And I do remember also always trying to keep that at the forefront of my mind of like, this is what I've always wanted for my life. And even when on the hard days or the tired days, or, when I was juggling trying to go to school and work full time at the same time, because apparently I really like to put a lot of things on my plate at the exact same time. Isn't that surprising? It's such a weird thing about me. And so, but I just remember and I think that's also why I rode that wave for every single episode, 243 of them, and never left the show. Because it was like, I just remember being like, I was so grateful, and I just wanted, that was my journey.
Yeah.
And that was
we were all lucky, for sure.
Was there any mom advice that we ever asked Catherine? I think I remember coming up to you when I told you I met Michael, and you were first thing you asked me is like,
is he Catholic?
And when I said yes,
I went bananas.
You were like, he's the one. I'm still. And then I told you, and he goes to LMU, and you're like, even better. And I'm like, and he's a Division I tennis player, and you're like, it's done. This is it.
An athlete.
You did it, Beth.
And then you said, is he an actor? And I said no, and you were just like,
ding ding.
Yeah, you gave. I mean, you were the first one to give him the stamp of approval.
So Catherine gave you away, essentially.
She was, I mean, Catherine was basically, she just said, like, yeah, Michael.
Hey, she made a
You
good
have my
call.
blessing.
I mean, 20, whatever, we're at 23 years later.
Yeah. I'm
Commitment
really
is a
happy
good-
for you.
is a
Yeah.
theme.
I mean, I'm so happy. In fact, I think of that often, how serendipitous and what a blessing. And, I know you're thankful for it, that this great human came along in your life. That, it's hard to find people out there because, well, they may not, I mean, first of all, he's neat and he's handsome and he's cool and but he's deep and he cares about you. There seems to be sort of a shallowness I see in a lot of young men. I don't want to just be cliched, but no gentlemanliness or no courage or no strength or no caregiving. There's no respect, and they're just So your husband is not like that.
No.
Because he's Catholic.
Because he's Catholic, and he went to LMU.
great.
And he went to LMU,
And he
where
graduated.
I went to Notre Dame, Catholic schools all my life. But you do get an extra ingredient of a dimension of life, which is spirituality. And they teach you to care for others.
Yes.
You're saving quarters in first grade for the starving in Africa. And I think that's really important to raise kids with, the awareness of the poor and other people. And that's one thing the Catholic Church does well, is teach service, and
Absolutely.
so that's all I mean.
Yeah.
I love all
And miracles. It's fun to believe in miracles.
Well.
If I ask for it tonight, it's going to happen.
like, if you're going to ask God
if you're gonna
for
ask
a dog.
for a dog,
for your baby.
We were laughing, because...
not a dog.
Not a dog.
dog.
Because we were talking about when David had his New York accent.
My New York accent for the pilot.
For the pilot.
Yeah.
Oh,
when he
how
would say-
great.
When he
Yeah.
would say dog. Dog.
Yeah,
God
those
for a
interesting
dog.
challenges, unique challenges I had coming from the East Coast out here to do TV with you guys, all you lovely people.
He was the New York actor. He just worked with John Travolta. We're like, well, that's cool. I want to talk about Mack.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm about to say,
I don't-
just that you're really beautiful. You were an adorable child. You went along with everything. And Dawn helped a lot, but you were sort of like a natural actor. Do you remember being like, where am I? What's going on? Because it's not like you grew up in commercials, right?
I did just a couple commercials, yeah. But I didn't, it wasn't like I had wanted to be an actor before I became an actor, no.
Yeah.
I became an actor and then realized what an actor was.
Did you resent that your parents made that choice?
Not at all. Actually, being on set was my favorite part of the day. I loved being there, and everyone was supportive and wonderful, and it was great. I mean, Dawn really helped immensely for me, but probably mostly helped everyone else deal with me. Honestly,
no, you were never difficult.
No, we all siphoned off Dawn's attention as needed.
Yeah.
It was Dawn was a gift to us all.
Yeah, exactly. Dawn was a gift to us all.
But it was a wonderful experience, and I like being on set is probably one of the most comfortable settings for me.
Yeah, you were everyone's cherub.
I loved it.
Yeah, it must have been in many ways better than real life.
The thing is, before I started acting, I was always the kid. Like when my mom would take me to the park, I would go and sit with all the moms, actually, and just like, you know,
I wasn't
a young
with
adult.
The
kids.
Yeah.
So I think being on set as like the only kid was just like, oh, this is great. I'm with my peers and they're 30.
Yeah, and there's a security to that.
I thought that. But,
you don't have to you don't have to deal with other children, which can be painful, right?
Yeah, children are mean.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I went to like, I would spend time in homeschool, and then I would be like, oh, I want to be in a classroom. So I would do some private schools, which is all that we could do. But like, I remember being in like the 5th and the 6th grade, and those kids were brutal. I cried every day on the way home from school.
Did they target you?
On the way to school for other reasons, but like...
Mom, did they target you?
What?
Did they target you?
They must have, because they were vicious. And I thought when my mom was always saying, you're so dehydrated all the time. And then one day I was like, aha, I'm crying too much. That's why I'm dehydrated. And I was like, brilliant revelation. I still cry a lot. It's just a well-exercised muscle.
Well, we are very in touch with our emotions.
Yeah, and then I try to use that.
Muscle.
I'm like, when somebody says, like, you're so sensitive, I'm like, well, it's not my fault. I was an actor, like that's my job to be in touch with emotions and to,
Do you know that when I was on
You are so East Coast. I love you, right? It's like, well, that's my job. I'm an actor.
You can't take it out of me. You can take the girl out of Hollywood, but
yeah. When I did Special Forces, that's where they're like, why do you cry so much? I'm like, I am an actor. Like, that is what I do. And they're like, pull it together. I'm like, it is not possible.
And when you're acting, you're like trying to cry when you need to cry sometimes. I mean, it does work, Yeah. But we all love those menthol blower things.
Oh, aren't they the best? I got through my whole, I
used to
I'm
really
Irish.
want
We
one.
don't cry. We just
I
drink.
wanted to get one, for like... That's true. Drinking and crying can go hand in hand, though. But
another thing I just thought that's really
ideal
nice
to mix them. Sorry.
about this reunion is that because child actors, and all living creatures, there's a lot of pain, and you guys are getting to connect. I think it's wonderful that you can share and be real friends now, and share life, like sisters, actually.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Well, I think what's amazing about all of us too is and it's what we can instantly, like, it takes 2 seconds for us to instantly be back to where we were. Is like, we have a shared experience, we have a bond, and there is absolutely no fronting at any point.
No small talk.
Immediately we can dive into something traumatic, something sad, something happy, something joyful, so quickly, and share that, and literally also transition, like flip-flop back and forth. Like, I swear, like, at the con, we dove like real deep.
It can get
and
heavy,
then we started talking
heavy,
about the best clam chowder we've ever had.
Yes.
at that, I mean, by the way, I'm still mad that we shared the clam chowder because I should have
know.
gotten my own clam chowder.
Oh, at the bar?
Come to
That
the
was
East
so
Coast,
good.
And
It was so good.
I
was
hope
like
we
the-
can go back to Connecticut because the restaurants were great.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we have like good
Once we
crab
found
in
it,
Maryland,
once we
like
found
cream
one.
of
Yeah.
crab
Yeah.
soup is also.
I'm so happy you're in the East. I feel like you'll meet better people. Well, just more relaxed. Well, they're not on the mate.
Well, I mean, I met a mate,
Yeah.
Yay!
you know.
Mack is mating currently.
Is what?
Not currently.
Not currently mated.
No.
Not
She
currently.
just mated because
I'm
she's
sitting
got
on the couch currently,
She's got
but,
the 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Recently.
I'm in mating season. Is that what you're saying? No.
That's funny.
No, I have met some amazing people there, and you know, it's definitely a different kind of person. And like, I think I was talking to Bev yesterday, or someone yesterday.
It was
I mean, last week.
in the really long car ride yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bev was talking in her car.
Wait,
ride.
stop talking.
Okay.
Now you stop talking.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna finish my.
Yes, go.
And then, so yeah, and I've met a lot of incredible people. Like, I moved there, and I'm sort of a very outgoing, and I consider myself to be a friendly person. But you know, ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, I lived there for about 6 years, and I have an amazing group of friends there, and then it gets bigger every year, and it's not really at all any of the same people that I knew before I moved there. I mean, I had 2 baby showers.
Yeah.
I'm that popular, and I lived there for like what, 4 years?
I feel
kidding.
like people in the
But
East
my
aren't
friends
on the
are
go,
amazing.
so it's
They're
going to
good.
stick.
But
yeah.
the thing that I noticed and do miss about people here is that most people, not including Beverly aside, are not from LA. And like fundamentally, as a person, you know, there's a quality of being brave enough to leave home. Just
yes.
like that.
Nicely put.
That is not what you find where I live.
Gotcha.
It's like
gotcha.
3 or 4
That's fascinating,
generations.
isn't it, David?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
I mean, I
Well,
just
I'm
dragged
You
done
my
find
talking.
braver
home with
people
me.
here who
Yes.
have made the
Yeah.
left home and to come here.
Absolutely.
Well, see, I'm ready
They
to
aren't
make
riding on the
journey
coattails of their grandfather.
out.
But
Thank you. It's more that way in the East.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But we did see Jess last night, and she says hello.
Okay.
Also, because we had a sister session last night.
Oh, another one? Were some good tears?
We didn't cry last night.
Oh, good. I mean,
cried.
that's a shame, but
I mean, Jesse asked me like
Jesse-
one question that I gave a really straight up answer to.
And was she shocked a little bit? No, not really.
I don't know. I was like, wow, that probably got a little heavy, a little quickly.
No, I think that's what's
It's good for
what's-
Jessie.
But we
But
had to
that's
catch
also
up.
what's great
And-
is that you
and
can just
Jessie had
literally
some-
just go straight
Did she
into
wanna-
it.
Jesse told me
did she
some
want to
stuff
unload
that was
some
like,
stuff? Yeah, good.
She did, and
Good.
you know, it was great.
Good, because that's what we're all here for. I mean, in a way.
Yeah, that's what family's about.
Yeah.
And I
Come
think
visit
that
the East.
it's easy for us. It seems cliche because we played a family, but after all those years,
Yeah.
you know, the wish was granted. It became true.
I have so
know.
many more
It's so
questions too
true.
for all of you. Like when we saw each other, like when we left 90s Con, I was like, God, I have like 100 more questions to ask David. And like last night, I was like, 1,000 more questions, you know, like 150 more to ask Jesse.
Ah, you'll never catch me.
I won't catch you. I was so tired too by the time.
But I think that's what's crazy, and I just keep going back to it because I think it is so special, is the magic of Seventh Heaven was the magic of all of us having such phenomenal relationships, even when you felt disconnected. Like I feel like the environment was so unique. We had Ashley Simpson come on, and it was amazing to see like what her experience is
Yeah.
coming on as an outsider
Yeah,
into
yeah.
an already existing
Yes,
show,
yes.
because oftentimes most people like it wasn't a warm welcome. It wasn't an inviting set.
But to us,
But-
for us, it was. I think we're all just, they cast nice people. That's the luck of it. We're nice.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, we're
Do
getting.
you remember getting the call for Seventh Heaven when they like offered it to you, or what that was
well,
like?
Aaron was calling. My mom had a stroke, so I was taking care of my widowed mom. I'm an only child. I was married, and I was back in film because I had done Turbulence, and I was like, I am not doing TV. And Aaron kept calling and saying, you know, please at least fly over and meet Aaron. And I just kept saying no. And so I flew over. So it wasn't like, whoa. It's again, my negative. I mean,
So hard to get.
I was I'm sorry. I apologize to you all for being.
You were taking
I
care of your mother.
I was
Don't
less than
apologize.
enthusiastic. But then I read the script and I thought you can't turn it down. It's great. And I wish if I had to do over again, my God, I would have thrown a party. So, thank you.
But I think I think we all have our journeys in the different.
Yes,
like,
yes.
We all land the way we land. But I have to say though, like.
Yeah.
Your story is perfect. It ended the way it was supposed
Yes,
to, and
yes.
you were always supposed to be Annie.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, there was nobody who could have done it the way you did, because you were so funny. You were such a strong character, and some of my best memories are with you, Catherine.
Oh,
like,
great!
so
I'm
funny,
glad.
yeah.
And also, a lot of them are off camera.
The thing is, too, Catherine, if your priorities were us rather than going home to your daughter, like, you would have a whole different set of regrets. And I think that, honestly, exactly. Your heart was in the right place, okay?
We will absolutely accept that, Katie was number one and she should have been. So,
Yeah.
And especially having
And your
kids of our
mother,
own.
like,
I mean, and I like your experience from that time, makes perfect sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were coming off of a cool movie, and you were like, you were
You and
trying.
David were
you
the
were trying
biggest-
to. Well, I had just done Phenomenon. I had Phenomenon. The premiere of Phenomenon
I love that movie.
came out. I think
Right in the beginning.
it was either right when or just after we shot the pilot. I'm trying to remember because
Yes, that's when
we went to the premiere. I
was
think
in
I
LA,
got
yeah.
to go to it.
And so
didn't get
so
invited.
Phenomenon came out.
I
Why
went.
I didn't? I don't know.
Because David and I were tight.
Because you would do,
I wasn't, I didn't get all the tickets,
You were,
But that premiere happened at the same time, and I remember my priority was always to try to do film work as well. That was the dream for me, and so like I don't remember being like, oh no, I'm going to be on this TV show. From my perspective as a kid, I was just happy to continue to work because I was a set kid, like kind of like you. Like I grew up being on sets, and so like my goal with auditions wasn't really about the backside of fame and being a celebrity or anything like that. It was about getting on set and doing and living that life on set. That was what I loved, because on set, I knew what I was doing there. I was important.
Yes,
I had a job to do.
Yes.
I could not let everyone down. I knew
That's
knew
the
how
thing.
to be useful.
For you too?
Not letting anyone down.
Yeah.
That is
Really?
so
Always satisfying.
It's so
satisfying.
satisfying.
It's satisfying
For a
when you're
little
when you're a young
child.
actor.
Absolutely.
an adult too, like just to know that you're not going to let someone down.
Well, and it's also knowing that
That's
you...
so
completely.
sad.
But
Let
also
them down. You mean?
Knowing that
No,
we
but
had the
it's-
craft and had the ability to do something that
Pull
was
your weight.
meaningful.
Oh,
that
so
was
it made you
important.
feel good.
Useful.
Yes.
Purpose. You have a purpose.
Like I think in the same thing that everyone looks for in a career.
Yes.
You want to do something with your life that you're really good at.
Yeah.
And think
so,
of your peers. They had
even
no such what they
moderately
were
good
gonna.
at.
Did they forget their pencil box?
I guess,
Well,
but
But they
but
were
for
training
me
for
growing
other
up-
careers
I
and
see.
other things.
Sure.
But you
Eventually.
got
That
to
was
do
important.
it right away.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up doing it, and so like I'd be interested to hear Mack, because like for me, being an act, like my mom made the decision to start doing this with me before I could talk, and then for as long as I can remember, one of my earliest memories of life is on a set. So like one of my very first memories is from a commercial I did where I threw up on the guy who played my dad. It was like a Tyson chicken commercial, and I was like, and I was into that Tyson chicken, man. I was like, give me more of that Tyson chicken, eating everything. This is the food lessons from set.
Grow up. That's
I learned this lesson really early, but
Stop eating.
but like, so for me, a massive part of my identity forever is just being an actor. I've always been an actor for as long as I can remember.
I have to tell you, the rest of us are out there at 23 going, I want to be an actor. And I really take my hats off to you. I mean, it is fate. You lucked out in a way.
I had nothing to do with
you
it.
got to do
You had a
what
lot
we
to
all
do with it.
strive
If
No,
you
but
weren't
I mean-
talented, you went to...
What, Matt?
Yeah.
So touching on like what you were saying about being able to do something you're good at, like that's why I moved, because like not being able to do something that I knew how to do. Like I went to go do the only other thing that that I knew how to do, and I had been doing for as long. Like
horses.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
and
like,
That's
and it
so
makes
interesting.
perfect
The
sense.
the only reason.
It makes perfect sense.
To
gravitate towards what you know you're good at, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
David, I'm
Well, and I
it's
also
nice
think
to hear you talk about that.
it's also crazy too because I think that there's so much of our identity that's in front of the camera. It's like that's our my safe space is in front of cameras. So like it's after Seventh Heaven, there was definitely a moment of being like,
what do I do
What
now?
does this life look like?
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Wow.
it's
Yeah,
and you
it's
do
very
little things here and
interesting.
then. But what's interesting is my safe place, the place where I feel the most comfortable, where I feel the most me, is always in front of a camera, which is why even some of the like crazy shows I did with like Special Forces, which I wasn't playing a character, I was me, but I was able to be vulnerable and be real because there was a camera, which is, by the way, the most like there's
Yeah.
some
See, I like
psychological like
cameras.
messed up
Cameras
things
give
with that.
actors permission
Yes,
though
yes.
to be
It's your safe
vulnerable, to
space.
be
It is.
to
Your
be
safe
emotional, to
Yeah.
kind of to open up.
And it's the one
We're
place.
trained to open up in front of the camera,
Yes.
not to
yeah.
shy
I
away
always
from
felt
it.
better
Yeah.
next to it, like doing off camera. Like when I feel like the takes where I really feel like I got there was someone else's coverage every time, and I'm like,
Oh, Mack.
something about the language.
And Mack was like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
Well, that's a credit to you that you give off camera.
Yeah.
I've had fights with actors. They do this great performance, and then it comes to your close-up. I'm like, excuse me.
Like, this
Can
is
you
my
give a
time to
little more-
shine.
Yeah. You can tell the whole character of a human by their off camera.
That, you know what, to be honest, I feel like that is a true testament of
Yeah.
where you can understand of an actor who is really there to act and then one who's just performing just for themselves. Because
Yeah.
the person who is going to be present and like stay on it and stay focused and be there off camera to make
For
sure.
you. I
tried
Yes,
so
for
hard
you.
off
Not for
camera.
themselves,
For you. It's the ultimate gift.
It is the
because
ultimate
it's hard
gift.
to go through the whole performance painfully.
Yeah,
It's
And that's what it
strange
feels
to
like.
me
Like,
because I
like,
love
it's
it.
your job to
Like when
support
we're
them.
there.
But do you remember
yeah.
when people used to
You
be like,
used to be when you're tired,
they would
it's
say,
like-
save your tears for your close-up. And I'm like, no.
They
And
always
then
came out off camera.
But my best
Couldn't
stuff
cry.
was off camera.
Always cry off camera,
Always
yeah.
cry off camera. And
Because
Yeah.
you
Because
give the
it-
actor something to
agree.
react to.
You give
yes.
yeah.
And then
Oh.
I feel like I can take partial credit for their performance.
For me, and
Oh,
I don't
God,
know
yeah.
what the reference is, but like I always looked at being on set as like being on a football team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it was our sports
Yeah.
team, and we're the players on the field. And so like I can't like ruin your touchdown
Yeah.
by not getting the block in or being there for
Wow.
you while you running the ball. You know, like that's our team. We got to run the ball. Everyone's got to run the ball. And so I've always looked at it that way. And I'm the most unathletic person in history, by the way. I'm terrible at sports.
David, have you met me?
No. When I tested for Gridiron Gang, I tested for the I think it was the Exhibit like football movie that came, and this was later in the game. Right? I had to do the physical test. We did the acting test where I cried all over the rock. And then we went to go, we all met out at a football field, me and a bunch of dudes, all the kids who were in the movie and a bunch of other kids, to go play football because it was a physical test. And I'm the only one at the physical test who fell on my ass. I straight fell over trying to catch a ball because I was like, I'm just going to pretend I know how to play football. Here we go.
Oh my
And like,
God.
yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I was not in that movie, by the way. I did not get that film. But like, you know, like but to me, the acting was my sport. And that doesn't mean that you have to be you don't always carry the ball. You know what I mean? Like a good athlete
that's so
supports the other.
Poetic.
A good athlete supports their
Wow,
team.
that's beautiful. Simile.
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
an
know.
English
but I've
major.
always kind of
That's
felt
a
like
great
that, yeah.
comparison.
We
you
need to
guys.
get you.
Can I say? I think we should do an acting show. Like Actors Studio. We've said a lot. No, I'm teasing, but a lot of knowledge here and a lot of lessons learned.
A lot of experience.
We have a lot of experience. I think,
Yeah.
Did you ever want to
We
be
could tell these
anything
wet
other than an
snaps.
actor?
What?
Wait, what
What'd you say?
I said, did she ever want to be anything other than an actor?
A nun.
Yeah,
I knew I would get you.
You really can't be both, okay? Like, it's just,
Oh man, Catherine, I adore you.
Catherine, you're so funny.
I went to Catholic schools. Nuns were the first feminists. They were intellectual, unmarried women. So we in Catholic school became strong. I didn't care about ever getting married. And I went to college and majored in theology. And so, but anyway, no, I didn't. I was gonna anyway. No, no. It was a real
starlet.
No, it just was. I mean, you guys were born. You know, you had it so young. It was something I only dreamt of because I wasn't a drama person in high school or college. So it was very intimidating.
How did you
one
get into
teacher
it?
said, I took one class at Notre Dame, and he said you should go on after graduation, and that was like it's just all been. But therefore I tried harder than my peers. I tried hard. I was like, I don't know stage left from, and I just worked and then got a scholarship to Cornell where we really studied acting for 2 years, an MFA, and then went to New York. But I kept my voice, and my peers on my first soap opera would just go out partying. I was always behind, so I tried harder. So they didn't care as much. So anyway.
I think that's a huge lesson too, because what I've always said too is when an opportunity came forward, I was always very clear that there were people around me that were far more talented than I was. But if I was given the opportunity, I was not going to squander it, and I was not going to give it up. So I was going to work my ass off to be that much more professional, to be like on time, to know my stuff, to be supportive and do everything. And it's always been that reminder that like if I'm given the opportunity, I need to make the most of it. Yes. But I always felt like I was always passed up, so that means that I push harder, I fight harder, I hustle harder.
And you are the living creature of that energy because it's true, and it's what makes you marvelous because you fight harder than most people, and you appreciate everything more, you know?
Thank you.
And and it works, and you've come so far.
I mean, I got us all together. That was a fight.
You were
Beverly
like
got us to the convention. She organized, everything.
Yeah, it's true. 90s Con, we hit 90s Con because of Bev, and for no other reason.
And Bev, even on the show, was always, you were the promoter.
I know, Barry gave me a hard time. He's like, why have we not had a reunion? I was like, and he's like, you didn't put it together, Bev. And I was like, is that my responsibility? And
he was like, I thought it was.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay, I will put on my party planner hat. And but I mean, I did. We pulled it off, and we had.
And then you were like, oh wait, I'm wearing my party planner hat already.
The party planner hat is like permanently attached. Got it. Yeah. So and.
I know, and your kids must benefit. Like they're not going to miss anything.
No. And actually, that was what's fun last night. We brought the kids over to Jess's house, and they got to like play and have their own little
really
party.
Cute.
That's nothing better.
And fun. It's really fun. And I can't wait till we get Lily and Ophelia and all the kids together.
Oh, yes.
And have the next version of like all of us like get to.
Can you imagine your children playing together? That's an episode. That's a series. But anyway, it's a blessing.
It is a blessing. We love you so much.
Thanks.
And we're so grateful that you
came
on to.
I love seeing you all together, and I'm happy you each have this new friendship with each other as young artists.
I know this reignition. Is that the reigniting?
You have real friends. You have real friends right now, forever.
Very
That's
appropriate and natural,
And I think needed. I think you needed
we did.
to connect with Bev.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of, as I said.
We didn't know that we needed it though until we saw what it could feel like.
Yeah.
Or felt.
Everyone's less alone after the con. Everyone's less lonely and less sad, everything, because you could share it.
It's been amazing.
It's a little wonderful blessing, as Sister Mary Stella would say.
Well, thank you so much for being part of it. This was Catching Up with the Camdens, and stay tuned for our next episode.
Hey guys, check us out on Patreon for early access to catching up with the Camdens episodes, exclusive group and individual content, access to all three of us via chat, and more.